There's a delicate balance between life and death. It's an issue Māori have long grappled with.
In former times, they used to put the tūpapaku outside, so the person who was dying, they'd put them outside, they'd leave them on the Pāho, and it was there that they met their death. If it becomes too hard for me to live, to breathe, to do whatever my body needs to do, I will seek an end-of-life treatment.
When you get into that voting booth, what will be going through your mind?
Well, kua e. You know, my heart will be happy. Because I wouldn't do it if I wasn't happy about making that choice.
Euthanasia advocate Maata Wharehoka lives with the crippling lung disease COPD, or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. She may look well, but her years of ill health have taken a serious toll. And this is a major reason she supports euthanasia.
I've been a big supporter of end of life, and I think that comes from a lot of avenues that I've met with over the years.
And she's not afraid of death either, having had a number of near-death experiences.
A near-death experience gives you a light in another world, and for me it was about thinking about how we become so close to death and what we go through to actually get through the door to the other side.
The closest she came to death was when her doctors switched off her life support after a car crash.
And so I've seen that light at the end of the tunnel many times. There was just this moment of haze, very light haze amidst the clouds.
Her daughter, Jean Hikoka, still remembers saying goodbye to her that day.
And I whispered in her ear and I said, oh, you've got to come back. You've just got to come back. We're not ready to let you go yet. But I didn't know which way she was going. I didn't know which way she was going to choose.
It's about how we treat the most vulnerable in our society.
Over the last 3 years, euthanasia has drawn heated and heartfelt public debate as the end-of-life choice bill made its way through Parliament.
The ayes are 69, the noes are 51. The ayes have it.
The bill passed its third and final reading and will come into force since it received more than 50% of the vote in the End-of-Life Choice Act referendum. But some Māori feel the Act doesn't go far enough to protect their communities.
Within the Māori community, there has been a lot of criticism of the Act because of the social and health inequities that Māori do face. Do you think that criticism is fair?
I think it is a fair criticism, and I did think about that myself. So there are people like myself who have had a lot of health issues, and so that's where I come from. So, you know, with that in mind, the choices are for them and the choices for me.
The results of the referendum could impact iwi and the tikana they practice. In the past, some marae have refused to host suicide tangihana.
The question to me was, well, if that's the case then, how do you manage those children who are grieving? Do you put them outside the gate as well? That was a very, very strong moment that I had to make a decision. So if you commit euthanasia or you choose euthanasia, are you welcome to come back into the marae? And I have to say, after all that thinking, that the marae is the place where you do all the healing.
With the final results of the euthanasia referendum soon to be confirmed, Maata is seriously considering her future. She may be one of the first people in this country who could take up the option of assisted dying.
How would that feel for you to be able to do that?
I like that I've got that opportunity to say yes. I no longer want to live in this body. I'm sick of breathing the way that I do. I need a lot more oxygen than what I'm getting in my system. I can't do it anymore. I've been there. I know what it's like not to be able to breathe. I know what it's like not to be able to walk to the toilet. I know what it's like not to be able to shower myself. I know that. And I know what it's like not to manage my personal cares.
Jean knows how much her mum is suffering, but that doesn't make her decision any easier.
It's really emotional. It's going to be emotional. I don't know. I just think there's a lot to consider in what she's asking for.
Have you thought of when that day does come?
I have. We've had some very real conversations about that. And she says, I don't want to suffer, Jean. I've suffered enough. I don't want to do that anymore. And they're real conversations, and they hit you hard.
While Jean is still coming to terms with the decision, Māta's mind is made up. Last month, she joined millions of New Zealanders in voting in the End of Life Choice Act referendum, where she voted yes.
What will it mean for you to be able to have the power to do that?
Maybe I could have a good party before I go, you know. It's like, come and join me. And to me, there's some beauty in being able to have people present with me in my last moment.